Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi, on sign language Elizabeth Nakakuni. Let's take a look at the top stories. Destroyed at NMS stores in Entebbe. 8 persons survive landslides in Namisindwa. While Busoga celebrates Chabazinga's 9th coronation, and 5,000 killed, 30,000 displaced as floods wipe out Libyan coastal city. Hello once again. Let's dig into it. Tuesday night downpour has left 8 people injured and 9 houses destroyed in Bongati sub-county Namisindwa district. Residents are now calling on government through the office of the Prime Minister to extend relief for them to have something to survive on.
The heavy downpour that started at around 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. left residents of 5 parishes in Bongati sub-county counting losses when their houses hit the mudslide. By press time in some parishes, locals were searching for their lost property.
We are worried. We appeal to the government, and when we heard about the environment itself, the rain is coming more much than this one. So when it rains even now, currently now it is raining, and I'm worried at night it's going to rain. So I don't know whether these people will remain here or where we're supposed to be.
The sub-county chairperson, Wakoli Stephen, explains that valuable property is now covered with soil, calling for government's intervention.
People from Bunga are affected, so we are expecting some people to run away from where they are. We gather them at the church and at the school. And unfortunately, the school is nearing the open. So we are worried and we are confused where to take these people. That's why the government must give the immediate effect, the immediate speed up of resettling these people.
The mudslide affected the locals from different villages, and most of them cried for support, especially food, as stored food in their houses was destroyed. Some of them expressed fear that their children are set to miss school due to the loss of their grains that they had planned to sell and get school fees. Stephen Wakoli, the sub-county chairperson, says affected residents are based in Buwambede, Bushwate, Buhaseme and Bushibuta parishes.
So we feared to put them in one place because we don't have any health center. Then in Bungadi we don't have any big trading center with houses which can accommodate all of these people. So we are fearing that when you bring somebody from his home to another somebody's home, it will bring conflicts.
And State Minister for East African Affairs, James Magode Kuya, has officially inaugurated Kiswahili lessons at the NRM Secretariat in Kampala. He emphasizes that the ministry is encouraging all government agencies to participate in East African programs aimed at ensuring inclusivity. The learners are volunteers who responded to the NRM Secretariat's call to be part of the initial model, and upon completing the tutorial, members will receive certificates.
The NRM Secretariat has initiated a Kiswahili language program to equip NRM cadres with basic Kiswahili skills for effective communication. This initiative aligns with the NRM's agenda to promote Kiswahili, which is Uganda's second official language.
Kiingereza najua, lakini nitatumia sana Kiswahili ili muweze kujifunza. Yes.
We realize that the integration is becoming stronger, the community is becoming bigger, and we need to empower our people with the skills to communicate. That is the purpose. There are quite a number of opportunities within the region that our young people can benefit from.
Our role is to interest all agencies, government agencies, ministries, and all organs in our country to interest themselves in programs which are East African.
Online sessions have been incorporated to expose members to the language and enhance their public speaking skills.
The barrier in communication, the language barrier, is hindering them because we have got quite a number of others who have gone for interviews in the regions and they have not been shortlisted because they cannot communicate in Swahili. So it is something which is very serious. So we realize as a party we should offer them an opportunity to learn.
Tutors have been selected from various universities and media outlets to conduct the training, including UBC television news anchor Edwin Nyachwara.
Come and learn this language every Wednesday at 9 up to midday. The NRM party has created this space for the public, the NRM cadres and the NRM leaders, plus everybody who is willing to learn Kiswahili language, to come and learn this language every Wednesday at 9 up to midday. Everything has been facilitated.
The learners express optimism that these sessions are crucial for improving learners' Kiswahili communication abilities.
Yes, nina kenjizeyo gwoba oyagala ekintu togamba mina taka ogamba mina womba. Unasikia?
Hii lugha itatusaidia ku transact. It will help us do the businesses. It will help us to communicate. It also help us to develop as a region. Because if you look at other regions or other nations that have developed, there has been a contribution of the language factor.
The NRM is offering the public an opportunity to learn Kiswahili through this program, which will run for 1 year with certificates awarded upon completion.
My parents were so happy.
And Uganda Police has suspended the National Unity Platform mobilization campaigns with immediate effect over breach of guiding laws for public gatherings. The police spokesperson, Fred Enanga, while presenting a statement on behalf of the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Major General Geoffrey Tumusime Kasigazi, says the persistent undermining of public order management laws on gathering by NUP leadership is likely to cause unrest in the country.
Police have pointed on the deliberate breach of guidelines on the public gatherings as a basis for the suspension of the National Platform mobilization campaigns across the country.
Of the above blatant breaches of the guidelines, the activities of the NUP are immediately suspended. This announcement is a follow-up to our communication of the 12th of September 2023 to the NUP leadership, halting the planned mobilization activities and opening of offices until such a time that they are ready to comply with the guidelines and rule of law. We are sending this strong message that our country, Uganda, will not wait for its villages, towns, urban centers, and cities to burn before taking action to protect its citizens and property. We are going to put an end to the mob mentality, bullying and intimidating tactics of noob radicals against innocent civilians and law enforcers.
In the statement by the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Major General Geoffrey Tumusime Kasigazi, presented by the police spokesperson Fred Enanga, NUP was prohibited from conducting processions, unregulated rallies, and other acts which incite violence.
We are going to put an end to the mob mentality, bullying and intimidating tactics of noob radicals against innocent civilians and law enforcers. We have very robust plans to uphold rule of law in liaison with other stakeholders and will respond appropriately against all perpetrators of violence that can lead to civil unrest throughout the country.
Police have pointed out Nupu rally in Luwero, where party president Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu made sectarian utterances and other forms of hate speech.
Furthermore, in Kasana Luwero district, the mobilization activity was used to incite violence, promote sectarianism, make illegitimate calls for the removal of an elected government.
Kyagulanyi is accused of defamatory statements against the person of the President of the Republic of Uganda.
And issuance of defamatory statements against the person of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda.
Police have also stopped the Forum for Democratic Change National Chairperson Waswabirigwa from organizing an extraordinary delegates conference. This follows a letter from the party Secretary General Nathan Nandalama Fabi contradicting Birigwa's planned conference.
The Secretary General FDC and the National Chairman Forum for Democratic Change to reconcile the party position or seek resolution from the courts of law to avoid likely open conflict and possible clashes. Police will therefore not be ready to provide the required security for the event until the party position is harmonized.
The ongoing situation in the political parties has put security organs on tenterhooks over protecting Ugandans who are being led by different political groups. Abdu Nasele Lubwama and Lydia Chomukama for UBC.
Well, the subjects of the Chabazinga of Busoga have celebrated the 9th coronation of the Chabazinga William Gaulana Diop IV. The coronation ceremony has been held at Namulgalwe Playground in Chigulu Chiefdom, Iganga District under the theme Harnessing the Environment by Planting Fruit and Medicinal Trees.
Muganwa, mubutonde, obwensi, nga tuyita mu kusimba emiti egy'ebibala n'egy'endagala. N'olwekyo bakubiriza mwongeremu amaanyi mu kusimba emiti egy'endawulo mu bifo gye muwangaalira nga mu masomero, mu makanisa, amalwaliro, mu masaza, mabomolola ni mu maka gaife. Ekyo kijja kutusobozesa okukuuma obutonde bwaife. Musango endala bakubiriza okwongeramu okulima emmere mutemu amaanyi musobole okutunda emmere eno y'omwana muliye tusobole okufuna empiiya ebinatusobozesa okwetusaaku ebyetaago mu maka gaife.
The ninth coronation of celebrations will be memorable for the wonderful news which you all received on 7th September 2023. Upon our day, His Royal Highness and the Kingdom, upon
And the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Justice Simon Byabakama, has warned candidates and voters against causing violence in tomorrow's Hoima District LC5 by-election. This was said during the pre-polling stakeholders meeting held at Doli Primary School in Kitova Sub-County, Hoima District. We'll bring you that story in a bit, but Makerere University College of Computing and Information Sciences has won approximately 55.5 billion shillings from Google to further research on automated screening of diseases using artificial intelligence. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, Amina Zawede, launched the project at Makerere University and emphasized the need to harness technology to better the well-being of society.
Screening of diseases using a microscope can be time-consuming and limiting on the number of patients to be worked on. It is against this background that Makerere University College of Computing and Information Sciences is exploring the use of artificial intelligence to automate disease screening. Artificial intelligence is the science of making machines perform tasks like humans. The diseases selected to be screened using this technology are malaria, cancer, and tuberculosis.
Artificial intelligence is able to tell you, I've seen this number of parasites, I've seen this kind of pathology, I've seen this bacteria, TB, or anything. And at one point, you want to know how many of them has the system been able to recognize, so that you can increase your confidence levels.
Dr. Rhoda Ngonzi from Makerere University College of Computing and Information Sciences explains how the technology works.
So our proposition was, if we can be able to attach a smartphone onto the microscope, then we can be able to capture images through the smartphone and then analyze them through the smartphone. So the idea was that we should be able to develop a 3D printable adapter that we attach on the eyepiece of the microscope to support the attachment of this smartphone onto the microscope.
It is believed that the technology will increase on the number of patients screened daily at health facilities, but also improve accuracy up to 80%.
It's going to improve the number by almost 25%, but as well as improve diagnosis by up to 80% of what the conventional microscopy has been doing. It is going to shorten the time, and it is going to improve on the overall turnaround.
And you are the only one working, and this is when this technology comes in handy. All you do is to do the first part, prepare the slide, stain it, put under the microscope, take an image, then the system is able to tell you whether the slide has the parasites you are looking for, or the bacteria or the cancer you are looking for or not.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Amina Zawede, lauded Makerere University for innovating solutions that positively impact society.
The next pillar is digital services. For us to operate effectively and efficiently, we have to take services online. So the Ocular that we are launching today is one of the services that we are taking online. It's AI-based, but it is a digital service. This will help us improve transparency, accountability, efficiency, and of course, at the end of the day, create impact by improving people's lives.
Makerere University is furthering research on automated screening of diseases using artificial intelligence with support from Google of US dollars 1.5 million, approximately 55.5 billion Uganda shillings. Adia Nakute, UBC.
And police have started investigating circumstances under which fire gutted a private warehouse that belongs to DAS Handling Services operating at Entebbe International Airport. The warehouse is being rented by National Medical Stores. Long-lasting treated mosquito nets, which were imported on behalf of the Ministry of Health, have been destroyed during the inferno. Meanwhile, Uganda Civil Aviation Authority has reassured the public that the incident has not in any way affected operations at the airport.
There has been a fire outbreak at a private warehouse, DAS. It started last evening until this morning. Firefighting police has done all they could to put it down. The building rented by National Medical Stores has been used to store mosquito nets distributed in different districts across the country in efforts to curb malaria out of Uganda.
We would also like to assure the general public that these mosquito nets were insured. So we're going to work with the respective stakeholders to ensure that there's no disruption in the delivery of the mosquito nets, and we're going to continue delivering the mosquito nets as we've been doing.
The location of the fire is outside of the airport. It is right next to the dust handling head office, which is located outside the airport's perimeter fence. It is therefore important for the public to know that operations at Entebbe International Airport have not in any way been affected by this incident.
The Public Relations Officer NMS, Shilandoro Hire, says mosquito nets worth millions of shillings have been destroyed.
However, we are still trying to establish the extent of the damage, and we're working with the authorities to ascertain what could have caused this fire.
Vianney Luja, the Uganda Civil Aviation Authority spokesperson, says they offered quick response together with other relevant authorities to contain the blaze, but in vain.
Several times they have put out the fire completely, but because the building had lots of items, the fire keeps coming back. But they are there, deployed and monitoring and ensuring that it is restricted to only that particular area so that it does not spread to nearby buildings, which would cause a bigger problem.
Despite the fact that the fire outbreak raised a number of questions and tension to airport users, this has not in any way affected the airport operations.
While the building that has caught fire has been referred to as a warehouse, it is not where items that have been flown in by air are kept. DAS, as well as NAS, which is now Menzies, have stores at the new cargo center.
Meanwhile, there are no preliminary investigations conducted to establish the cause of the fire. Police is to start investigations after containing the resistant fire. This is not the first time fire guts buildings at Entebbe International Airport. The recent incident happened on May 2021, where fire gutted fuel tanks. I'm Nafka Farida and Sulaka Gugube.
And the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Justice Simon Byabakama, has warned candidates and voters against causing violence in tomorrow's Hoima District LC5 by-election. This was said during the pre-polling stakeholders meeting held at Dwali Primary School in Kitoba, Sub-County, Hoima District.
The Electoral Commission will conduct the Hoima District LC5 by-election in order to replace the former chairperson, Kadel Kirungi, who died on March 17th this year in a motor accident on the Hoima-Kampala Highway in Bukomero, Chiwoga District. Justice Byabakama says the law mandates them to conduct a by-election within a period of 6 months after the death of a district chairperson.
Wherever we go, the voters are calm, they are peaceful. We who come to these areas, we are the ones who cause problems. So we should not do that. So please let us all abide by the law, let us all abide by the guidelines issued by the Commission.
According to the chairperson of the Commission, Hoima District has a total of 94,524 registered voters and 173 polling stations. The Commission has already delivered the polling materials and disbursement will start at 2 a.m. Voting will commence at exactly 8 a.m. and end at 4 p.m.
Also, we request them and you mobilize them to come early. If you turn up at 7, you vote by 8, you vote on that day, and you can be there and vote there. But you have noticed that in most rural constituencies or areas, the voters pay first attention to their gardens. Some of voters have not cast their vote, but they are at the polling station and 4 p.m. finds them at the polling station. Those voters are free to cast their vote. They should not be shut off. That's already 4 p.m. Sorry for you. People have not yet voted. Wow, no. The person who will not be allowed to vote is that one who comes after 4 p.m. where there has not been no disruption.
Honoured Mulekwa, the secretary to the commission, has urged all stakeholders to get actively involved in this exercise, adding that they should not leave it only to the commission.
Lord Chair, I think we are working out a plan with the DPC to make sure these people are available here, so that as the materials go, they go with the materials right from here, to avoid reaching the polling station and they have not arrived. So for agents, please, candidates, make sure your agents are there.
Stephen Tashobia, the commissioner in charge of Western Region, has praised the Albertine region for always having peaceful elections and has asked them to maintain the same in tomorrow's election. Merab Kasande, the Hoima district returning officer, reveals that the campaigns were peaceful and the candidates followed the electoral laws.
Right now, the election materials have arrived and the vehicle, the lorry is parked outside. After this meeting, we are going to verify those boxes, and then early tomorrow morning we are going to dispatch.
Some of the candidates and party representatives have expressed fear over the heavy security deployment, which they say is likely to disrupt the process.
And with that, we take a quick break. When we return, more details. This is News Tonight.
Set to transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN Mobile Money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
In this family, we can't agree on anything.
Martha.
We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play.
Martha.
Ndoza Mulabi, we can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Ate alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
What's the best kind of business to invest in? One that connects Ugandans border to border with a high-speed broadband 4G and is the first to launch 5G? What about one of the largest corporate income taxpayers in our country? Oh, the fastest growing telecom in the last 5 years. Wow! Well, here's a chance to invest in it all. Take part in Airtel's initial public offering today for as little as 100 Ugandan shillings per share. Remember, a retail investor gets 5 incentive shares for every 100 they buy and 6 incentive shares if they purchase using Airtel Money. Dial *185*85# now to get started.
Tata ni Mama Sarah.
Wanji?
We did all we could. Naye we couldn't save her. I'm sorry. You brought her in very late. Malaria destroyed her organs and reduced her blood levels. She was anemic. You know how dangerous malaria is. I am sorry, but malaria has killed your daughter.
Malaria kills more people in Uganda than any other disease. Protect your loved ones from this enemy. Ensure everyone in your family sleeps under a mosquito net every night, whether it's a cold or hot season, to protect them from malaria. In the event that any of your family members shows malaria signs and symptoms, take them to the nearest health center immediately to prevent complications from malaria that could result into death. Together, we can chase malaria out of Uganda. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from Global Fund.
Did you know that you can safely and conveniently make your school fees payments anytime, any school, anywhere using Airtel Money? Oh yes! Simply pick up your phone and dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Choose between school pay, peg pay, or shore pay. Enter student number. Enter amount, confirm name and transaction. Enter Airtel Money PIN. A confirmation message will be sent to you upon a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Uganda is a source, transit, and destination for adults and children who are either forced or deceived into forced labor, organ harvest, sacrifice, and commercial exploitation. Trafficking in persons is a serious crime and gross violation of human rights. Report suspects of trafficking in persons to police for investigation and prosecution. Suspects are either close friends or relatives. Victims of trafficking are not criminals and need protection. This message is brought to you by the Coordination Office for Prevention of Trafficking in Persons, Ministry of Internal Affairs.
Welcome back. You are still watching News Tonight. Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development has launched the Energy Policy 2023, the legislation that stands to address the challenges of high transmission costs, low levels of access to affordable and modern energy, among others.
The energy sector seeks to achieve the 2040 target of being able to capacitate 52,000 megawatts of power transmitted from the national grid to the rest of the country. It is from this background that some of the energy policy's objectives are to strengthen electricity generation, transmission, distribution, and increase electricity access.
The NRM government is committed to exploit these resources in an environmentally sustainable manner, as already demonstrated. Large infrastructure such as the standard gauge railway, oil refinery, and petrochemical industries, and emerging trends such as electric mobility that will require significant amounts of electricity. The possible capital requirements, including foreign direct investment and local capital needed to fund the energy policy.
There is a call by the regulator to ensure all set procedures for the generation of power are done within the given time frame.
The generation segment, I can say if we implement our plans in a timely manner, we'll be comfortable. The transmission segment, the cohort of the many transmission lines that we've been singing about are coming to the end because they are being commissioned, most of them this year, and those that will delay early next year. But the second set that enables us to cover the entire corners of the country, as well as plan to evacuate the scattered plants, because we need these plants to be constructed, some of them near the industrial parks.
The German government has in the same motion contributed to the energy expansion in Uganda through supporting the construction of energy infrastructure.
With Uganda now having abundant generation capacities in place, our focus has shifted towards promoting decentralized energy solutions, such as self-sufficient solar-powered mini-grids in remote areas, and also towards the densification of the electricity grid.
For the successful implementation of this energy policy, the sector will be in close collaboration with other energy sector relevant national policies, such as the Uganda Forestry Policy of 2001, the gender policy of 2007, the climate change policy of 2015, the land policy of 2013, among others. Mario Nawori, UBC.
We have to capture this moment.
Meanwhile, communities, especially beneficiaries in the Parish Development Model Program in Zirowe, Luweero District, have commended government for this program aimed at developing them socially and economically. However, they said some politicians connive with the implementers of the program to solicit funds from beneficiaries to be included, favor their relatives, and with even some beneficiaries receiving half pay, among others.
Parish Development Model Program beneficiaries in Zirowe, Luweero District have lauded government for the program aimed at developing them socially and economically. However, the beneficiaries are apprehensive of politicians infiltrating in the Parish Development Model Program, which is against the policy and soliciting money illegally, where some beneficiaries receive half payment, among others.
Kakati tukoye ekityo okutulimba oli najja nakugamba tugenda funa sente era nkutadde mu kibiina ky'ab'ebyennyanja n'omanya nti kati ogumiridde mu babyennyanja oba olio nga bagamba ate abo bafere abo bayaaye kakati waliwo ekyakasooli sookoleetayo ebiri ate n'odduse empapula nze ne foomu ezange nazibajjako bannaye nzirina baazinziriza nga mpulira bye banyinyonyola sibikola ki sibitegera nga ndi confused. There is
nobody, I assure you my people, there is nobody who will go to the bank and open for you an account. An account is a personal thing. It is you yourself who go to the bank and open up an account. This is my assurance to people and the leaders especially, honorable councillors. Don't involve yourselves in these PDM programs. We have our roles as leaders, is to mobilize people to join groups so that they can access what? This PDM money.
This was in the meeting organized by the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, aimed at monitoring government programs, especially PDM, held at Zirowe Sub-County Headquarters in Luweero. Dr. Muyingo cautioned politicians against infiltrating the PDM program because they are not allowed, and appealed to beneficiaries to aim at businesses giving them profits and avoid receiving the funds when they are not prepared, because it is refundable after 2 years.
Bwegera mumativu nti gundi afunye olwaleero omwaka ogujja nze nfuna oba sifunye oli agenda okuddako ate nga bwe mbagambye naziri ezasooka nazo zijja kubanga zidda mukola omulimu gutya.
On the issue of schools opening for third term, the minister advised parents to take their children back to school with necessary requirements and said government is soon introducing universal compulsory education in Uganda in government schools, compulsory to parents to educate their children at all levels. The coordinator, Office of the National Chairman in Luweero District, Abdul Karim Mwaswa, in the efforts to put PDM program in Zirowe to order, directed the OC Zirowe Police Station, ASP Allen Vincent, to summon politicians, communities reported in infiltrating in PDM program to make statements. Mary Namkose, Salongo Kasbante, UBC News.
Persons with disabilities have been urged to embrace government programs which aim at poverty alleviation and leaving no one behind. This call was made by the Chairperson, National Council of Persons Living with Disabilities, Yona Waswa, in Kampala.
Over time, government has come up with various programs aimed at placing low-income earners into the money economy. Even though many have benefited from these initiatives, persons with disabilities feel they have been left behind.
And for us, we think that when this money is put maximum use, and I want to call upon persons with disabilities who are beneficial of this 10% ring-fenced money, to make sure that they put this money to maximum use so that their livelihood is enhanced, and by so doing we shall be leaving no one behind, because once the pocket is okay, then you can access the other costly social services.
They have now authored a petition in line with the forthcoming Global Disability Summit, which looks at inclusion of PWDs in capacity, education, health and employment.
Passing the National Inclusive Education Policy, which has been lying idle for quite a number of years. We all await for the passing of that policy, because we know that when that policy is passed, a number of things will be achieved in inclusive education. The third thematic theme was inclusive health. And one of the things I pointed out was the review of disability data. Disability data in the health systems, you and I will agree that it is quite important in advocacy, but also planning for persons with disabilities.
However, there is still a challenge of data availability on persons with disabilities, which affects service delivery among marginalized groups.
But unless NODIPU or National Council tries to come out to say we are here, many times government forgets us. But consultation is very important for persons with disabilities because disability is not homogeneous. There are different issues that affect different people in different disability categories. So consultation on everything is very critical for us as persons with disabilities.
The data working group is to make sure that all the data for all persons, for all activities is collected, analyzed, and then disseminated, and used by the policy makers when they are taking policy decisions. So Uganda Bureau of Statistics, which is mandated to be responsible for national official data, is the chairperson of that data. So our main concern as a secretariat is to make sure that when they are collecting the data, it must include people with disabilities, it must include other people who are left behind.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Sasura obagula ne MTN Momo olwo tukuddize ssente oleweki
oyuge ku MTN Momo pe ogenda kubanga okikwasaganya bulungi nnyo.
Olwaleero tugabye piki zaffe ebbiri ezisoose nga tuziwadde ba merchants babiri, mukyala Hadija ku petrol station ya Moka, mwami Charles naye tuva kumuwa piki ye.
Kituufu mpangudde ne documents zino nzifunye.
I was so surprised when to take petrol station nesangawo nga already MTN yatuuse. Kumbe bino ebintu byo bituufu.
Era kye tubuulira abantu baffe naddala omuntu yenna alina business nti ssaawa zino tugenda tuva mu mbeera eyo ey'okukwata ssente ez'omumpeke nti buli omu yenna afune kye tuyita merchant code. Tugenze tusomesa abantu ku mugaso gw'obutakwata ssente ez'obuliwo naye nga bazifunire ku ssimu yaabwe. Beera steady tugaba pin code yo weka.
Kozesa Momo app owanyika star *5 star *3#. Here is the 2023 musical launch of the year. 16th of September 2023, Kololo Ceremonial Grounds will be the only place to be, as the whole of Uganda will gather to witness the Museveni Hoima musical launch by Eman Sereko, also known as Munamasaka. Don't miss all your artists, comedians, stage and movie actors, members of parliament, ministers, leaders at different levels, led by the Right Honorable Premier Robin Nabanja. The chief guest of the day will be the one and only Sabalwanyi Jajamwami, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. All at a free entry at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds on the 16th of September 2023. Do not miss.
Hello, Mom. How did you sleep? How is Salongo? Oh, Mommy, how is Grandma? And Simba, the dog, yeah, the funny one.
Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel Bona voice bundles. Dial *100 *1#. Select Call Bona to choose bundles from as low as 1,000 shillings from daily, weekly, monthly, or bundles that don't expire. Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel. A reason to imagine.
Welcome back. Now in business news, communities residing near the Echuya Forest Reserve in Rwanda District have received support to promote climate-smart agriculture and conservation practices. Nature Uganda, a local non-governmental organization dedicated to environmental conservation in the region, has donated 60 sheep to conservation groups in the district.
This initiative is part of the AFRI Evolve project, an undertaking by Nature Uganda aimed at encouraging climate-smart agriculture in the areas surrounding Echuya Forest. The project receives support from Nature and Biodiversity Conservation Union, one of the oldest and largest environmental associations in Germany. The Deputy Executive Director of Nature Uganda, Jimmy Mohebwa, said that the various interventions they are promoting will help communities recognize the value of conserving the forest, which plays an integral role in the lives of people in the Kigezi sub-region. The program's manager at Nature Uganda, Henry Mufutundinda, says the provision of sheep will help in the supply of organic manure to farmers engaged in climate-smart agricultural practices. Rwanda district authorities have praised this initiative and advised the beneficiaries to use the support responsibly, considering its potential for a broader positive impact. Beneficiaries have expressed their unwavering commitment to conservation and pledged to continue promoting responsible agriculture.
Everywhere we're encouraging people to have something to keep at home. Now these animals produce manure, the sheep. There's what they call okufumbira in Ruchiga. So we believe that if these people can keep these animals properly, look after them properly, they produce manure, they will be able to put into their gardens and they can have better habits.
Echuya Forest, nestled amidst the rush hills of Chisoro and Rwanda district, has long served as a sanctuary for numerous bird species.
And on the international scene, the International Organization for Migration on Wednesday said deadly floods that happened early this week in Libya killed at least 5,000 while displacing 30,000 people in the eastern city of Derna and thousands elsewhere. Plus, donors waited to donate blood outside a transfusion center in Marrakesh, a tourism city in Morocco, after a historic 6.8 magnitude earthquake that killed over 2,900 people and injured at least 5,500.
Aid and help that is needed. The problem is the infrastructure is not helping a speedy operation to rescue.
You talked about these rival factions and this conflict that, of course, we've reported on over the years in Libya. How much will these rival governments come together, though, to actually ensure that people get the help they need?
Well, we've already heard from the internationally recognized government in Western Libya that they've called on the area as an area in a disaster zone that needs international help. That they already mobilized all and ready to mobilize all their capacities and personnel for the help needed. I mean, the government in the
And that does it for news tonight, but let's take a look at the headlines once again. Mosquito nets worth millions destroyed at NMS stores in Entebbe. 8 persons survived landslides in Namisindwa. While Busoga celebrates Chabazinga's 9th coronation. And on the international scene, 5,000 killed, 30,000 displaced as floods wipe out Libyan coastal city. That does it for tonight. Elizabeth Nakakoni on Sign Language. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. This is News Tonight.
The management and staff of Kampala Capital City Authority regret to announce the death of Honorable Councillor Kabali Geoffrey of Mutundwe. There will be a funeral service at All Saints Church Mutundwe at 11 a.m. tomorrow, 14th September 2023, and afterwards a vigil at his home in Mutundwe at 7 p.m. Burial will be on Friday, 15th September 2023, beginning at 12 noon in Chotera, Luanda. Informed are all staff and management of KCCA, relatives, friends, and in-laws. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Uncle, you should see London. Oh, my boy. This has been 5 years. You should see Uganda. Yes. Uncle Marcus, huh? That's my former school.
See, soon there will be more than 1 million children learning like this for free.
This is impressive. Do you even have connection out here?
Oh, we have 100% 4G countrywide.
Okay.
We even have 5G too.
That's approximately 700 billion Uganda shillings in tax, making Entebbe one of the largest corporate income taxpayers over the last 5 years, helping build a better Uganda.
Today your son saw our new Uganda.
Thank you, Uganda, for imagining it with us and making us the fastest growing telecom in the country over the past 5 years.
Nibanyita kananye niyita Sezi Nwagaba commercial officer Abwantunga mu district government.
I am Sezi Nwagaba, the commercial officer for Ntungamo local government. I express my gratitude to God for this platform and the Imyuga initiative brought to us by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, as it has positively transformed the lives of the people in Ntungamo, whom I have known for a long time. When you visit the beneficiaries of this program, you can easily witness the significant positive changes in their lives. The audit report demonstrates that despite their leader being deaf and blind, profits are being made, highlighting how this program has actively engaged and evolved every individual. Initially, we received 2,650 million Uganda shillings. Each constituency received 530 million Uganda shillings. I would like to express my gratitude to this platform for providing us with the opportunity to share information about the Imyuga program. Our special thanks go to the President for initiating the program, and additionally, I would like to mention that there are numerous similar projects in Rubare and Ntungamo.
I got it. What do you mean you got it? Have you won a lottery? Yes. This is kind of like a lottery to me. Let me see. But these are URA receipts now. Yes, exactly my point. See, I had tax areas that had accumulated for a while now, and I was burdened by the penalties and the interest. But guess what? All I had to do was to pay my principal tax, and now I'm free. What? Yes. How? I mean, it's impossible. It is possible. The government has done it. Yes, the government has given a chance to all taxpayers to pay their outstanding principal tax that accrued until 30th of June with no interest or penalties. But now they're really imagine, yes. So yeah, all you have to do is simply pay your principal tax and enjoy the waiver on penalties and interest. And this goes up to the end of December 2023.
How do I do that to also enjoy the waiver?
All you have to do is simply pay your principal tax to benefit from waiver on interests and penalties that runs till end of December 2023. Pay your outstanding principal tax using the available payment channels, or simply dial *285# or visit the nearest URA office for guidance before 31st December 2023. Remember, this chance comes only once.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Super Soul Sisters, our viewers, I am so excited that you are here with us today. My name is Lona Kasasa Jemima, and with me I have a very, very special Super Soul Sister with me. But before we get into that, I want to welcome you, those joining us online, those who are watching at home, those who are on their YouTube. I am very, very excited. Of course, I am going to encourage you to continue to engage with us on our social media platforms. Super Soul Sisters, of course, Super Soul Sisters with the S being a 3. On TikTok, I know all of you love TikTok. We are at Super Soul Sisters. Do not forget that S is a 3. And also on Twitter, please tweet in your comments in case you want to know more about our Super Soul Sister or any more suggestions. Our handle is Super Soul, and today with me is a very, very special Super Soul sister. Her name is Margaret Chigozi. She is a medical doctor. She was once a sportswoman. She was once an executive at Uganda Investment Authority. She has had so many achievements that I'm sure are going to inspire you, as this program's main achievement is to inspire you, our sisters out there, our women, that you can achieve as much as these women have. You are most welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. Could you tell our viewers your name and who you are, and yes.
Okay.